What did you do overnight?
She's had some changes.
High fever, huh?
Yeah, we've given her the suppository Tylenol,
Okay.
and then hydralazine for her blood pressure,
Okay.
because they've been running high as well.
Yeah,
And I was
so,
telling them her lactic acid
Yeah.
levels were abnormal because she's got this stiffness in her extremities,
okay,
and this is kind of different than yesterday.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay, so she has a bacteria in the blood. It's the same as the one in the urine. So essentially, it's a urinary tract infection. Okay, it's actually pretty severe. That is, if she continues to have fever or a white counts, essentially septic from it. I know she had a stent placed, I think in January, because there was a blockage there. They removed the stone, put the stent in. It seems that the stent is working because there's no, typically when the stent is blocked, the tube between the kidney and the bladder, usually we see that get bigger. It seems to be patent, okay? But of course, there's a foreign body in there, so I know I asked Dr. Moses to kind of see whether we need to replace it. Sometimes the stent becomes a source of infection.
Right, he said it couldn't stay more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I know it's
so
been more than that.
so that may be the cause why she has another UTI, and it keeps on. We can't, even though she's on the antibiotics, she continues to have fevers. So that's one. And number two is that so when you have a bacteria in the blood, of course, it can spread. She has a prosthetic mitral valve on the right side, right? On the left side. Uh, so so when you have a bacteria in the blood, it can go to that valve and get called endocarditis or vegetation. So they did an echocardiogram yesterday, can't really see much, so they cannot really tell whether there is infection there or not. So that's another concern. So, so we're really giving her a lot of antibiotics. So working with Dr. Moses to see whether we can do something about the stent. And then at some point, we'll need to check whether there's any infection in the valve or not. And the way to do that is another form of echocardiogram wherein they go down the food pipe and look the heart from the back. But it's not something urgently we need. We just need to control the infections for now. That's the main thing.
I'm worried now you can hear her in the chest a little bit. I know when she was here in January, they had those things on her legs to keep her from getting the blood clots or
Yes.
whatever, and that's not happening here, so. Is that something we need to worry about? Because she's not moving at all.
yeah, yesterday,
Uh-huh.
so the night prior, she had speech, and then
Okay.
yesterday morning when I came in, she was nonverbal to me at all. So we haven't been comfortable giving her any PO meds, so I was gonna.
And who's hospital is Dr. Hazen, right? Or is it Dr. Salisbury?
Stansberry saw her yesterday, so I think we might need to, because she's been on Eliquis, but we might need to Provenance.
Now, she's never done well on blood thinners.
Yeah.
Because she's allergic to a lot of them,
Mhm.
but, I know because she got the blood clot in her heart,
Yeah.
they had to put her on something, but I'm just worried that that looks like blood. I know everybody says it's not, but
Okay.
I mean, yesterday it was brown, but today it's definitely red.
She's doing something with her foot.
My other sister,
Uh-huh.
she lives with my other sister, she's the main caregiver, but her son was having surgery in California, so she left.
I see. Okay.
So she's like in total panic, not knowing what,
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
because
Totally understand. Yeah.
I'm just giving her some hydralazine
Yeah.
to help her blood pressure.
So, so the main thing now, what we're for me specifically, is really controlling her infection. And working with Dr. Moses, so hopefully we can at some point get the stent out, or even replace it.
Yeah, because supposedly they put that stent in there because she hadn't passed the
Yeah.
stone. But then the nurse yesterday said that they hadn't found the stone
Yeah,
in
there's
there.
no more stone.
But then I guess Dr. Moses told one of my sisters that it could have been hiding or
Yeah.
something. So I don't know if that was before he came in or not. But I mean, if she's past the stone, the stent could technically come out, couldn't it?
Yes, so even there, sometimes you can't see the stone, but they when they go in there and to look at the stem, they will see some blockage and they can either remove it or put a new one in.
I mean, we came in because she had stomach pain.
I know.
In the kidney, and then they
Yes.
found a blood clot. You know, so we were like, well, it's a good thing I guess she had the stone because we would not known
The
about
one
the blood clot.
the one in January, right?
Yeah.
And since then she's been on the Eliquis, right? Since then.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so, yeah. But then we put her at the nursing home
Uh-huh.
for rehab,
Yeah.
and they didn't tell us, but she had been refusing some of her medicines. Because you know that UTI makes them real loopy, you know?
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
was like, you know,
Yeah,
we didn't
so-
know that she wasn't taking all her medicine.
Yeah, the UTI is really bad now. That it went to the blood. She does have she doesn't have a folio, right?
No, no, it's
No, it's a
Up your way,
pure.
okay. So that's where we are right now, and we're gonna give you more updates once we have more information. Okay? I think Dr. Sandberg will do that because he's the hospitalist, so he will be the one sort of like overseeing everything, particularly the blood thinners and.
So it's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yes, per se. And the thing is that there's a lot of things going on. It's not only the infection. So of course the mental status changes. Of course she's at risk for aspiration. And we're concerned about the heart.
So she would go, I should probably call my sister.
Yes, it's very safe. But but the main thing now is just controlling her infections. Usually, once we get the controlled infection, then we have we have more of a sense of whether she would her mental status would get better or not.
But you don't really know, we don't have the infection, we haven't found an antibiotic yet that's working.
No, we know she's on the right. She's been on the antibiotics since she came in, so she's on the right antibiotic.
Oh,
So.
because they said they've been changing that, so.
Well, it's usually when she comes in, we put her on a broad spectrum, like they're covering all our bases. And then once we know, we kind of narrow it down. And so she's being on the antibiotic. It's just that we're narrowing it down because now we know what it is. And right now, I would actually add a second antibiotic so that to control the infection further. Okay, so she would be improved.
Hasn't improved at all though.
No, still having high fevers. The white blood cells still high, so infection is still going on.
What's her white count now?
It's up to I think 25.
So it was 20 yesterday.
Yes, it's up. Okay, she had high fevers last night, so I would add a second antibiotic to get that to help us control the infection further. Okay. And I think let me give you my card, okay? And my tablet, okay? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.